Hey everyone, and welcome. Today, we're going to talk about something we do all the time, something we barely even think about, dealing with documents. But what if I told you that for millions of people, this everyday, simple task is actually full of hidden challenges?
Come on, be honest. We've all been there, right? You get this huge, dense contract or some terms of service agreement. What do? You scroll and scroll and scroll right to the bottom, find that little box, and sign on the dotted line, just hoping it's all good. It's a little gamble we take almost every day.
But just imagine for a second that you didn't have that choice. What if you wanted to read it, you really did, but the document itself was the barrier? What if it was physically stopping you from understanding what you were about to sign? Well, for millions of people with low vision, that's not a thought experiment. It's their daily reality.
So let's start at the very beginning. Every document starts somewhere, right? Usually with a blank page, or as it says here in Korean, a new memo. Seems simple enough. But from the moment that first letter gets typed, choices are being made that can either welcome a reader in or shut them out completely.
And this really shows you that gap perfectly. On the left, you've got the clear, crisp reading experience most of us are used to. But look at the right. That's the reality for someone with low vision. It's blurry, the contrast is terrible, and it just looks like an overwhelming, impossible wall of text. See, the problem isn't the desire to read, it's whether the page itself is even accessible.
So who are the usual suspects here? Well, we're talking about things like fonts that are way too small or super fancy and hard to read. Or, and this is a big one, really bad color contrast. You know, like light gray text on a white background. Who can even see that? Then you've got these huge, dense paragraphs with no spacing, no breaks. It's just exhausting. And even something as common as a PDF can be a total dead end if it's just a flat image of text, because that makes it completely invisible to the technology that's supposed to help.
Okay, so now we get to the big moment, the climax of any document's life, the signature. This is it. This is the legally binding part. And you can just imagine the pressure, the anxiety, when you can't clearly see what you're putting your name to.
Think about that. A signature is supposed to be this declaration, right? It says, I understand and I agree. It's all built on trust. Trust in the person who gave you the document, trust in the process. But how can you possibly have that trust when you can't independently check for yourself what's on the page? It just completely breaks down.
And it's not just one single problem. It's like running an obstacle course. First, you've got to just find the tiny little signature line on the page. Then you have to somehow fit your actual signature inside a box you can barely see. Okay, manage that. Great, now you have to find the other little fields for your printed name and the date. And don't even get me started on the digital world, where so many e-signature websites are just a confusing, inaccessible mess for screen readers.
Now, facing all these challenges might sound pretty grim, but here's the good news. It is absolutely not a dead end. Technology gives us this incredible toolkit that can empower people, give them back their independence, and turn these huge obstacles into something they can actually manage.
So that's the real question then, isn't it? How do we actually build that bridge? What are the tools that can connect the person to the page and let them master these documents on their own terms?
Well, the answer lies in amazing technologies like these. You've got screen readers that literally read the text out loud, digital magnifiers that let you zoom way in on any part of the document, high contrast modes that make the text pop right off the screen, and even OCR scanners that can take a picture of a physical paper and turn it into digital text you can listen to. I mean, these aren't just gadgets. For so many people, they are a lifeline. They're basically an extension of their own sight.
But here's the thing. Assistive tools are only one part of the solution. They're fantastic, but they help people navigate a system that, frankly, wasn't built with them in mind. The real long-term fix is to build a better system from the very beginning.
This right here, this is the key. We have to completely shift how we think about this. Accessibility isn't some extra thing you bolt on at the end, like a special feature. No, it's a non-negotiable, fundamental part of what makes a design good in the first place.
And that brings us to this powerful idea called universal design. It's actually a pretty simple concept. It's all about creating things, whether it's buildings, websites, or, documents, that are just naturally usable by as many people as possible from the start. A perfect example? Think about the curb cut on a sidewalk. It's absolutely essential for someone in a wheelchair, but it also helps a parent with a stroller or you when you're rolling a heavy suitcase. Everyone wins.
So what this really means is changing our whole approach from fixing accessibility problems after they're made to just not creating them in the first place. It means building documents that are born accessible because we chose clear fonts, good contrast, and a logical structure right from the start.
And look, this isn't some huge, complicated challenge for somebody else to solve. It's an opportunity for every single one of us. It can be as simple as making sure your font is at least 12-point, choosing high contrast colors like classic black on white, and using headings to break up your text. These tiny choices make a world of difference. And that really brings us to our final thought. What if the next document you create, the next email you send, was clear and usable for absolutely everyone, right from the very first draft?